going on? Zach from the Onside Kick Show here, giving you this weekend's Divisional Round game picks. Don't have an episode this week of the podcast. I figured I'd give you my picks anyway, so you can come back to this video whenever all of these predictions are 100% accurate and tell me how great I am at predicting things. So number one, we got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. You got the Bills, they're red hot right now. They put the Steelers in their place, and they had a really strong finish in the regular season, which they needed badly to get back on track. Bills versus the Chiefs is always a really good game, really good rivalry. Mahomes tends to have the leg up, but in the last couple meetings, they are pretty even. Now this is Patrick Mahomes' first road playoff game. He has never not played a playoff game at home. Well, I'm here to tell you right now, it does not matter, because Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to go into Buffalo and get out a squeaky, tough, gritty win against the Bills this Sunday. The reason I think so, Buffalo had a lot of injuries in that Steelers game. It's yet to be seen how serious those injuries are going to be, but they lost a couple linebackers, and regardless, a lot of people don't realize the Chiefs' defense is what's winning them games. So when they start to get the offense clicking, that's when you know you're in trouble. Rashee Rice, 2 touchdowns, had one of the best debuts for any rookie wide receiver. The question is going to be, can Josh Allen limit his turnovers? He had no turnovers against the Bills, and they won that game. The Bills are 16-0, now 17-0 in games where Josh Allen does not turn over the football. Then again, he's been in the league for 5-6 years now, and he's only had 17 games where he doesn't turn over the football. So that's going to be the key. But I am going to take the Chiefs here. We're going to say 33-30 in this exciting finish in Buffalo. Next game, we got the Houston Texans taking on the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. You know, Houston had a great game against the Browns. They were able to absolutely expose that number 1 defense. However, I got to go with the most likely 2-time MVP, Lamar Jackson here, and his squad against the Texans. I think that there is no team in the NFL who is built to go up against this Ravens squad in the postseason except for the 49ers. Texans coming in here off a really good win, but they were throwing to a lot of wide open receivers, and they are not going to find that easy coverage against the Ravens. Meanwhile, John Harbaugh is going to run an excellent offensive game, and the Ravens are going to be on their way to the AFC Conference Championship. I think you can expect a pretty good game for both of these quarterbacks here. However, I think a few more mistakes are made on CJ Stroud's part, being that he's a rookie, probably going up against the best team he's ever faced in the biggest moment of his young NFL career. The key for the Ravens is going to be establishing that running game as they've done all season. They're a sneaky good passing team. A lot of people really doubt Lamar Jackson's arm, especially when it comes to the playoffs. But I think Lamar Jackson gets a playoff win here. They're the number 1 seed. They have the advantage at home. I think this could be a close game. However, I think that the Ravens are going to get the best of the Texans here. So I'm going to say the final score of this game will be 34-20. Moving on to the NFC, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Detroit Lions. Lions had the only close game of the playoffs of all these teams that played, getting that narrow win versus the Rams in the Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff revenge game. Meanwhile, you got the Buccaneers coming off of a fantastic win against the Philadelphia Eagles. They showed the world that they are no joke. The last time the Lions and the Buccaneers played each other was this regular season, and the Lions handed the Buccaneers one of their worst losses of that year, holding them to just 6 points. Now, I will say this. So far in the playoffs, we have seen the rematches from the regular season go the opposite result. You have the Houston-Cleveland game, which was the complete opposite way when these two teams played in the regular season. Browns coming out on top. The playoffs had CJ Stroud back, were able to flip around that score and put up a ton of points on the Browns. You've got the same deal in the Eagles-Buccaneers games. Eagles got the best of the Bucs earlier this year, and Tampa Bay pulled the Uno reverse card in this wild card matchup. I'm not saying that will happen against the Lions here. However, just because you beat them earlier on does not mean it's a lock to beat them again. I think they will put up some points against the Lions. Baker Mayfield is red hot. The Lions have a great offense, but their defense is questionable at times. I think this game is going to be way closer than people think. Nevertheless, in Detroit, the fan base is fired up, the coaches are fired up, the players are fired up. They just got their first playoff game in a million years. I'm taking the Lions here at home. I'm going to say the final score of this game is something along the lines of 27-20 or a 24-17. Last but not least, well, definitely least because it's the Packers. You got the Packers taking on the San Francisco 49ers. We've seen this script before. Packers knock out the Cowboys in the divisional or the wild card. They go to the conference championship, play the 49ers, and have the exact same result happen to them. I don't think that's any different this year. Jordan Love is leading the youngest offense in the NFL, one of the youngest teams in the NFL, if not the youngest. They've played amazing so far. Playtime's over. You're taking on a Super Bowl contender in the San Francisco 49ers, fully healthy, coming off a week bye. Could this be a trap game? Yes, but I think Kyle Shanahan has learned from his mistakes in the past. Falcons. And they're going to be prepared to handle the Packers here at home. I don't see this one being that close. I'm going to say this is another high-scoring game with the San Francisco 49ers putting up a 40-burger on the Packers, holding them to just 21. So there you have it. This week, I'm taking the Chiefs, Ravens, Lions, and Niners. We'll see how much of these I get correct. And you guys can come check out this video and either flame me or praise me in the comments below. In addition, I did just write an article about what I think the Cleveland Browns should do at the quarterback position in the offseason. They have a big decision coming regarding Deshaun Watson and some of the other guys that they have on that team. And I gave a few suggestions that may surprise you. So go check that out. I'll link it below. It's going to be on Substack, which will be where I'll post more articles like that in the future. So anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the picks. Come back to see if I'm right or wrong. Let me know in the comments below. And enjoy this week of football. Peace.